Guys, this is the segment that I was ever talking about from the highway here. You can just come and recognize that we have some of the two banana plants here that have been already subjected here to make sure they're going to be directing much of the people who understand, because in the tradition, much of the people understand that this is a section that they're going to be having this kind of the burial ceremony we're having, or talk about this kind of a burial area. So in the tradition, much of the people understand whenever the ways or the means of communication that are just put alongside the road to make sure that we are understanding what's really meant at this kind of the position. So bado hello beautiful people, wherever you are, welcome back. Wherever you're coming from, thank you much for you being tuned and locked in. Going to be starting this kind of the video, this kind of the caliber of the moment, so you can just make it happen at this kind of the fantastic module. Everyone is just talking about the condolences. Thank you very much for you being tuned and locked in, because today is today, tomorrow going to be another day. I always talk about this is the phrase you have to talk about, and every time it has to come at this kind of the moment. And everyone who's being tuned, already we have much of the work continuing at this kind of the area, so we can just have to celebrate this kind of the way of getting forward at this kind of the hard time we have. And we should be so strong. Much of the people are talking about again, we should be so strong enough so as you can just make sure that everything coming at this kind of the point very fantastic here. Thank you very much for you being tuned, and also making sure they're going to be supporting each kind of the team, and also supporting each kind of the way for us to get forward. So guys, at this kind of the moment right now, we have much of the gentlemen. We are just here to make sure that we are squeezing much of the materials here, so we can just gather the good space for much of the parking. Also talk about the vehicle. Much of the people are asking about why is that kind of the vehicle? It's just here, and it's just parked at this kind of the moment, and we are just removing much of the materials. Talk about squeezing them a little bit far away, so you can have much of the parkings. And because the session is a little bit smaller, we're going to be having much of the larger surface for us to have the parking lots here. And that's why you see even this kind of it's called the ballast. They're just squeezing it here. Very fantastic. Mr. Gachagua, how are you? Gachagua is available today. No bricks again. How are you, Gachagua?
I'm very fine.
Everything is fantastic. Introduce yourself.
Yes, my name is Gachagua Impeachment. Yeah, I'm coming back. But is Kokoto here.
Exactly. So guys, we are making it happen, and we have to be a little bit cherishment, so as you can just have not a dull moment every time, because we know it's just a hardship right now, but right now we have to talk about, we have to squeeze ourselves to make sure that everything is coming to you live, which is one-on-one at this kind of the fantastic way. So we have a match of the gentlemen. They are here to make sure that everything is so good. I'm gonna be just talk about, hey, how are you, man?
I'm good.
Everything is good, bro. Faida. Faida is here. Guys, every time I always talk about, sometimes we have much of the friendship here, and you see much of the guys who are here. We are always at this kind of the position every time, and we have been eating from this kind of the section, and right now we are ever continuing this kind of the job to get forward at this kind of the moment. So the good fact is we are making it happen, and we are preparing much of the things here, so as you can just have it's going to be laid in a well good manner, so as you can just make it happen. So much of the people are just watching, or it's the first time watching this kind of the video. We are continuing, the process is ongoing, and also it was just yesterday he just died, and we can talk about our family, and everybody was just condoling with our family, talking about we have to be strong enough. This is the way of us to get forward, and we understand it happens to everybody, and it happens to much of the people. Even right now they are just speaking, there's somebody who's talking about, oh, I've lost a sister, I've lost a son, I've lost a daughter, I've lost somebody, and somebody who have just talk about lost in very companion way of you, talk about your condolences also, and making sure that everything is getting forward very much. We have this is a way of life. They have to go, and others are just welcomed. That is the way of living, and we have to accommodate it and acknowledge it to be so forwarding here. So much of the people are still making sure we are just condoling with much of the people here, and everything is so fantastic here. So I'm going to be squeezing a little bit here, and to make sure we're going to be getting to know now, and how is everything just getting on and on. So guys, we are still squeezing with the wine. Mr. Protas, hi. Mambi Kochonjo. Exactly. So we have much of the guys here just here to make sure that everything is coming on and on at this kind of the moment. My brother here spoke something here. Hi.
Hi.
How are you, man?
Fine.
Everything is good?
Fantastic.
I see now you are getting out.
Yeah.
Oh, you have your friends east, west, and south, eh?
Yeah.
Exactly. So everything is possible, guys, and we are making it happen to make sure that we are having this kind of the session getting forward. So everything is just good at this kind of the moment up to whenever we're going to be talking about, yeah, this is the way you have to make it. And we are struggling to make it happen. That is the real fact. So let us prepare and make sure that we are just laying them there in a good area so they can just have to celebrate this kind of the last moment of his. The good thing is that you already done everything. Talk about he oriented. He left the dignity. He left much of the siblings work and just make sure that we are making it happen. The good fact is he has made his own time, and it's now for us to make it happen. Because if we are not so strong enough to talk about, oh, we will be crying east, west, and south, talk about, oh, it was the everything, it was A, B, C, D. But right now we are talking about we are strong enough to make it happen. And we have to rejoice with everybody, wherever you're coming from, talking about, oh, we're going to be condoling with much of the Gintu here. Much of the YouTubers have already sent much of the things, talk about and I've sent the condolences, much of the YouTubers from Nyabuansa and everybody who is just available to make it happen. So we are going forward, and we have to get forward from this kind of the time, and that is the way of us to get forward. So let us prepare the materials here so you can just make it happen. So I don't know if they have been, I don't know if they have drunk something. I have to ask Gashago. Gashago, is the stomach, how is the stomach, man? Is it empty or you have got something? Umekunya kakitu?
Empty.
It is empty right now?
Yes. I'm hungry.
You are hungry?
I'm hungry.
Exactly. The food were coming, we're right one now. So don't worry about that one. So guys, we're gonna be making sure that everything is so fantastic here, and we're gonna be handling much of the 2-3 things here. Talk about the food and everything. Somebody we're gonna be talking about, we're gonna be supporting it in terms of these ones, because we have much of the works to do also, and talk about we have much of the things to have it going on. So we're gonna be using even the G Castle here a little bit for 2-3 purposes. Talk about security. We have some of the security lights here, and also much of the visitors are gonna be talking about, oh, we have so many. Sometimes the training, like yesterday, trained cats and dogs in the evening, and we have not yet brought much of the tents here. So we ever used the G Castle a little bit, and today we're gonna be making sure that it's gonna be put some of the lightings, but it has reached the time of electrification. But we have to handle this kind of talk about the catastrophic way that we have just got at this kind of the moment, so we can just continue with the G Castle construction. So that is the fact. Right now it cannot look very much good whenever we're gonna be talking about, oh, people are just having it. But if it could be it's my father could be just the one who wanna be having this kind of the G Castle, and they have not been finished, we could have finished it before. You could just lay him into the rest bed there. So that is the real fact that is just continuing here. So right now we have to make sure that we are just controlling much of the things here, because we have much of because guys, right now we have to understand that much of the children right now, they're going to be bringing some shenanigans here. They can just fail from here. I'm seeing much of the children just hey, tusikilizane, eh? Tusipatane mtu akikaa kwa hizi chuma. Sawa sawa? Nimewaona mkikaa. Tusipatane mtu akikaa chini kwa chuma. Ni nani? Ni huyu. Ndio umesikia. Tusipatane kwa chuma, sawa? Guys, I'm warning them not to sit on top of this kind of the metal rails, because they might fall down and again bring much of the shenanigans here. That's what I know I don't need at this kind of the moment. So everything is getting good, guys, at this kind of the time, and we are making it happen. Today is the second day, and much of the people have democratized here to make sure that we are just moving forward at this kind of the moment. And I appreciate everybody talking about, oh, we have to make it this way. I've seen much of the condolences from the YouTubers talk about everybody who has ever condoled, and also subscribers have ever talked about it's going, and I thank for everybody who has just in concern talking about to have to talk about it, because it's we have to be strong, and also I have seen much of the good encouragement and support also to make sure that we are just squeezing forward here. So we are always having more than like 100 people per day. Right, like yesterday we were a little bit not more numbered, but right now I think we're gonna be as many as possible, because right now much much of the people have known that this kind of the tragedy has occurred. So we're going to be talking about, we're going to be having as many people as possible at this kind of the moment getting forward. So keep it tuned, keep it locked, because I'm going to be updating you where necessary, where possible, and how it comes and how it goes at this kind of the moment. And also we're going to be talking about, you understand that we are just the church people here, so we're going to be accepting much of the church people to come and also have this kind of the way getting forward. So it's a way of us to get forward and also pray for our late Mzee, to make sure that we're going to be resting in a very internal peace, so as he can just make it happen. And also I appreciate much of the people who ever knew him, and also there's some people are just calling, oh, Gintu, is that the same person I ever came and I just found here? Also my father always had to sitting that place that they're just sitting there. He used to sit at that kind of the position to make sure that he's listening to much of the music, talk about the music, slowly music, the rumba music. I like that kind of the nature, because it was part of the program to make it happen. So even right now, we're going to be making sure that the rumba music is being hit here at Safari Rally. Also, we're going to be having much of the 2-3 things to do here to make sure that everything going to be encountered very much fantastic here. Usije uanguke. Msukume. Yeah, so guys, we are receiving much of the guests every time, because it was a good known person, and it was a very humble guy at this kind of the rate. So we're going to be having as many people as possible coming, also supported with the church also to make it happen. So as far as everything is concerned, guys, already we have just placed here a good parking lot here to make sure that everything going to be getting very fantastic at this kind of the rate, because we're having a lot of sand here, and again we have prepared a good area. Again, we're never going to be finishing this kind of the services. We're going to be making sure that we are having much of the materials placed at this kind of the moment again. So we have a septic tank here, and we have just already made sure that it's not interfered, because this is the manhole. Talk about this manhole that was here, so you don't want much of the people to maybe lose the focus and just come, maybe it's a vehicle, maybe it's a motorbike, and get themselves attracted at this kind of the point. Oh, hapo imefika? Oh, iko sawa? Oh, safi. So guys, we are just squeezing much of like this kind of the balance to make sure that it's just balancing this kind of an area. Sasa na hapo sengaratu kwa. Kasikiribu. Harasa leke. Kwa hivyo iko sawa? Okay. Gakurugutu. Oh. Lakini mbe sasa. Etaye. Lakini kinombe nakagambiri niga. Kasongi bu kidogo karento ka triste ka tube hata mon. Garatobe. Okay. Exactly. So guys, we are having ourselves here a little bit of discussion here to make sure that we are just preparing this kind of a way, as we're going to be making it happen at this kind of the moment. So as you can just acknowledge and understand, because we have to put our thoughts together so they can just make it happen, and everything going to be so fantastic at this kind of the moment here. So exactly. We have at least, guys, we're going to be praying. Yeah. That's people who knows that one, and salam alaikum to everyone who knows that one. So again, we are just making sure that even the highway is prepared very fantastic here, so as you can just have this kind of the moment getting forward, because we are having vehicles, talk about motorbikes, and people are coming like safari rallies to make sure that they are coming to condole with the family here and getting forward at this kind of the point. We have Jatelo with the swag. What's up, man? What's up? Everything is good, man. Fantastic. Jatelo.
Me, I'm good.
Yeah, Kibra.
How is
fantastic. I see the way it's being corrugated here.
Yeah.
You have decided to make it happen.
Yeah. At least, you know, it can be at least large. So
large enough. So make sure that this kind of the stuffs here just breaking them down a little bit.
Okay.
So you cannot have much of the moment here. I think right now the dogs are good. Have they chased anybody here?
No.
They are good.
They're very friendly.
Exactly. Hey. Eco-friendly. Come here. Eco-friendly, exactly. So guys, we are having much of the people still accessing and also maintaining the roads here to make sure that it should be prepared good, because somebody can come and hide here, and we are having much of the guests here receiving much of people at this kind of the rate, and they might come to talk about ABCD here. Exactly. So we are just preparing the way very, very fantastic here. Exactly. So the way should be so large enough, and should be maintained very, very clean at this kind of the rate of the moment here. We have Mr. Marwa.
Yeah, I'm here.
So today you are in the road department.
Yeah.
Exactly. Maintain it. Exactly. So
to be clean.
to be clean.
Yeah.
Exactly. Make it happen.
Yeah.
Exactly. Guys, we are having so many people here because I have so many brothers, and I can tell you as a fact, I have so many brothers at this kind of the rate. Babu bwana hebage ikuya. On Sahara. Exactly. So guys, we are having another way of making sure that we are informing people that this is the rate. So as we have so many roads here that you can just access. So for us to know that this is the specific way, we have to put something in the tradition. We call it the green banana. Talk about the whole of the banana and talk about a banana plant. Exactly. It should be subjected to a hole where the road access to where this kind of the funeral is oriented. So right now we have much of the people still at the road there to make sure that we are just putting it's called the banana plants, so they can just direct that this is the direction of where the burial area is. So everything gonna be handled the way it is, and for you to learn much about in Africa how the burial ceremony is planned, watch this kind of the video, and I'm gonna be giving you every time and every then, because even the work, talk about the manual works that are already oriented here. As far as you are producing good food, talk about you are giving them food, you are giving them the necessary requirements for them to do it. They're going to be doing it willingly. And also we have this is called the bond of brotherhood. That is what we are encouraging much of the people to have, because it's a way of us getting forward at this kind of the rate. The cowsmen, they need you. Yeah, the cows need you right now. Exactly. So we have another lady here. Hi. How are you?
I'm just fine.
You are just fine.
Yes.
Yeah, but headache a little bit.
Yeah.
It should be there. I understand. Dizziness, fatigue.
And resting.
Because you are a doctor now, you want to tell us now much about it.
No,
We understand
not a
already.
doctor. You know,
you are a
God
nurse?
is blessing me every day.
Oh.
I'm a nurse. I want to upgrade to become a doctor.
So when I talk about a doctor, is it a problem or?
It's not a problem. You
Yeah,
see.
exactly. That's what you are telling us in terms of so as you can just know that now you know more about the
No,
doctorate.
fatigue is just fatigue.
Fatigue is jasho. Joto.
Fatigue. Feeling like you're tired, you're exhausted. You see.
Kuchoka.
Yeah.
Or fatigue is kuchoka. And joto.
Tiresomeness.
Joto inaitwa.
Joto. Kuna hotness of the body, kuna fever.
Fever. Talk about fever. That is now the
And
medical way.
Pyrexia.
Pyrexia.
Yeah.
Now teach us this kind of the work here. Exactly. So you are good?
I'm not that good, you see.
I understand. So between you and me, who can be at least? And today you want me again to give you a morale, yet I'm the one having the problem.
You don't worry. Together as one, we are together in this.
Okay.
Yeah, it
We are
has
together.
hit you, it has hit me,
Yeah.
it has hit us.
Exactly.
Yeah.
It has got us all of us.
And it has rained on us.
It has rained on us.
Hails and stones.
Hailstones.
Unexpectedly.
Unconditional.
Yeah, of course.
Unconditional. Exactly. So I'm just rushing home here a little bit to make sure that everything is just covered here. I see you have much of the stuffs
I
here.
want to go and bring bananas.
Oh, bananas. You have not brought them yet.
Porridge.
On the porridge?
Yeah.
Fantastic.
You know
Make
me,
it
I
happen.
like making
Guys, the
you-
good thing is here, much of the people volunteer to make it happen and appreciate much of the moment. Talk about the porridge. People have already drunk the porridge.
And it's over. I'm
And
going
it's
to
over.
make
Another one. So much of the people are oriented. Support much of the people here at the village to make it happen and
Black
appreciate.
villager,
Black?
Black African lifer, Black village lifer.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Support her. She's there. Exactly. So guys, everything is good, and as you can just see, everybody's just making it happen. Here guys, sometimes in the tradition here, we are having people coming with a little bit smaller things. Talk about even bread, talk about sometimes tea, sometimes they can bring some porridge there. And it's a life in Africa that you can never go to a funeral while we are just talking about we are empty-handed. Sometimes people understand that at that kind of an area, it has got attract much of the people. So even them, they're going to be subjected part of the team to make sure they're going to be getting something smaller for them even to eat. We understand in the battle ceremony, we have eating it's there because much of the people cannot work like the way they're just working here and just be left vacant the way they are. So we are having so many brothers here to make it happen, and I appreciate that kind of a good moment that we're going to be having at this kind of the rate. So let me check inside to make sure that I'm knowing what's really happening inside here, and we can just understand what's really popping out at this kind of the moment. So still the road going to be maintained to make sure that there's no much of scrubbing the road here a little bit, to talk about the tires here. Oh, terraling. Guys, the terraling, somebody can talk about is a terrorism. No, terraling is slippery. Yeah, slippery. Not slippery again. Exactly. Hey, bro, mambo. Uko chonjo? Assalamu alaikum. Safi. Asante sana. Exactly. Now we are having so many of the children attached themselves up there, but everything is so fantastic here. Exactly. Let me check inside here what's really popping out here to know what's really happening, because the house is already maintained, and I have transferred everything from this kind of the house to make sure that it's now not having much of the problem. Talk about much of the people, you can never know. Some people can come, not that they come to condole with us. Some people want to come and investigate to understand what's really happening at this kind of the rate. That we have already cleared everywhere, it's cleared, and everything is just cleared from this kind of the rooms. And we're going to be having some lightings here, temporary ones, because already we have some wire here that's passing with the electricity to have talk about external lights, talk about the security light outside there. So we're going to be making sure that everything is so fantastic here. So we're going to be checking this one here. Yeah, this is the store. It has not been taken much. If you okay? Exactly. So guys, right now everything is maintained at this kind of the rate, and we have to make sure that everything is going on very, very fantastic here. So as far as we're going to be in touch, we're going to be making sure that we're going to be getting much of the orientation on what's really popping out at this kind of the rate. I'm a big no. Tuende tuzimishie redio huko ndani. Isilete kelele. Mambo. Poa. Kile kitu kiko safi. Sawa. Guys, we have the music here. You're gonna be put the music here. Papayo sa bado.
Oh, nice.
Yeah. Oh, ambil udah tisu. Cepat tuh, Mas. Oh. Ya beban ini ambil besar.
Ganda mai abara nyagora turi rudi. Rudi kwe.
Choko bora soko.
Asiumia wale ni kile. Hebu tusaidie hapo huyo mzee atumie.
Maana gatumie muno soko, gatumire muno. Ona sasa taruha gutumire sasa.
Unaona
tantora konambe.
Yanambe anja kwa shuko naye.
Sawa.
Kubintu. Umuheba ono watume muyuko ono
Arapuno akusuku kama tanisi maratore muno.
Umaibe turatumira simple terms.
Wa musuma nchana.
Ono mutiga tumakonambe yu.
Nora suma ncha tuibano nora kiu.
Hello. Ngasiye. Tatora mboko nambe yu.
Atango.
Ai, sawa. Kuna kitu naweka barafu katia sasa.
Taka hetege kwa.
Njira hete.
Njira hete. Ya ndo tokaji. Kasagwa. Achuchi ntora na amasupugana. Kuja. Amasupugana.
Janara.
Ya mabore kikire hali. Mohe gale bo.
Mano. Kuja, kuja. Mano. Yuko sawa. Haya. Nini? Leta. Umemaliza? Na wenye wameenda, nyie ndio mlikuwa mmeenda kuweka matoke?
Kuna wengine wameenda.
Oh, nese hara na hara use.
Kama.
Na korami na hanu igoro hanu. Oh. Wagwan. Naingia beze. Guys, that's how everything is just moving, and the work continues. Right now, it's so calm. Talk about the calmness that is there. It's of a highest order because much of the people are just coming today, and we have regulated. Much of the people are coming to cry because it will bring much of the tension again to us because we have been already passing through that. So whoever is just coming, we have just put much of the people who will be telling them, please lower your tone because you might be inciting others again, and it will be a bomb blast of cries here. So we don't have that kind of the affinity to have those kind of the people again coming and crying too much, because it will lure us again to be like now it's like the same day that we started this kind of the way forward. So I'm going to be updating you what we're going to be coming at this kind of the time, and thank you very much for you supporting and making sure that we are getting forward at this kind of the moment. And kudos to everyone who has talked about Gintu. We're going to be promoting with something good, so as you can just buy, even if it's maize, talk about rice, because in the funeral it's rice. I'll tell you that as a fact, rice and sugar, it's something that's just always, because tea, because how much of the people who sleep here up to the night time, up to the late night, so we're going to be getting some tea. And also whoever just come to condole, they have just come from very far distances, they should have something to eat at that kind of the rate. So keep it tuned, let me get to know if they have just already planted the bananas at the road, to make sure they're going to be directing much of the people to know where they're going to be coming into. Keep it tuned. Guys, this is the segment that I was ever talking about from the highway here. You can just come and recognize that we have some of the two banana plants here that have been already subjected here, to make sure they're going to be directing much of the people who understand, because in the tradition, much of the people understand that this is a section that they're going to be having this kind of the burial ceremony we're having, or talk about this kind of a burial area. So in the tradition, much of the people understand whenever they come and just recognize that this kind of the two stuff that are just placed alongside the road. I think it's going to be placed again at the upper section there, to make sure that we are just having much of the people have so many roads and the routes that are going to be directing, to understand where really are we just subjecting, and where is really this kind of the occasion or the ceremony going to be held. So it's one of the ways or the means of communication that are just put alongside the road, to make sure that we are understanding what's really meant at this kind of the position. So from the main highway here, much of the people just understand the way they're just moving here. Whoever is just intended to come about, or they're coming for the ceremony, talk about the funeral where it is, they'll just come and spot this kind of the two bananas, and just understand that this is a rate. So we have another way up there that I've just come from. I'm going to be having again this kind of the bananas here, and I'm getting to the frontier here so I can just understand what really I meant from the far point here. So in case somebody wants to know where really and how it is, so you're going to just come there and find the bananas, and also where the junction is. Any kind of the junction should be placed with such kind of the banana plants, to make sure that they are just directing much of the people, because they are half communicating. It could be like a mambo mukopoa. So it could be like a half communication, because it's not like you could just put there somebody to be there, and so they can just direct people that, oh, where is this kind of the funeral I'm just hearing. They'll just understand whenever they'll come and see those kind of the bananas planted alongside the road, and they'll just understand that there is something which is continuing at this kind of the rate of the moment here. So that's the way we have the communication skills in Africa, and also talk about in this kind of the position here. So we're going to be getting to a next route to understand, is it really demeaning it? Because when you reach at this kind of the side, again you'll come and hit and get the banana plants are just already planted here, to make sure they're just meaning something good here. So you have to go this kind of the way. So it's one of the directions that we are just using in Africa, to make sure that it's like a skeletonic signs that shows that there's something that has happened there. It's either maybe for the funerals, and also when you have a celebration, talk about maybe an engagement celebration, or you know that maybe much of the people will be confused about the road, so they'll just get that kind of the way, and they will never miss the highway, and that is the way of us to get forward here. So when I'm just driving home, this is the route that I'm just using, because it's a very big highway that even we can talk about bigger trucks can just pass. Any kind of talk about a car or any kind of a vehicle, it can just pass through, to make sure that everything's so fantastic. I see the guy who's taking care of the monkeys there is already at the function area, to make sure that everything is just getting forward very well. So as I'm just approaching, you can even see the highway. It's a big enough, and nobody can talk about, oh, the highway is a little bit not understandable. The highway, everything is so good. So it's just from the road, it's going to be 200 meters from the main road. If you follow the biggest route of we can talk about when you can follow the vehicles. But the motorbikes, we have a shortcut that's just coming from that far end, and you're going to be approaching to this kind of the section. So much of the people there, I think the luncheon is already good so that people can just have to democratize with something good at the moment right now here. Wow. Safi. Oh, maunenge. Tukate maunenge hapa. Renta bona mase. Yeah, I think right now we're gonna be eating something very meticulous here. So the food, hey, no plate, man. Plate are over. We have to buy plates, eh? Yeah. We have to buy. Yeah, I'm going for the plates right now to make sure that everything's okay. Zimekuja. Zimeenda huko. So I have to bring much of the plates here, guys, so as we can just make sure that much of the people are serving without hesitation, that we have to wait somebody to come and finish and eat, so you can just access that kind of a plate. Exactly. So come. Aziko kabisa. Yeah, hold for them. The food is fooding here, and the meat is gonna be added on top here to make sure that people are just eating very good meal, and that is the way forward. Maji ya kunywa si utawaletea basi. Oh, plates zimekam. Yeah, I think they are washable ones. They have to be washed as we access them. Ugali kidogo kabisa, ugali kidogo. Yeah, kidogo. Hiyo toako kadogo. Yeah, thank you. So, hey, skuma. Yeah, skuma, kidogo bana. Thank you. Hey, you have to get another guy who is serving the meat. Kuoga mwili. Yeah. Guys, I have to have some dish here to make sure that I'm sustained a little bit here. Soup. Fantastic. Guys, that's very nice for me to have. Niaje. Kila kitu iko fresh. Safi. Tupige maunenge. Jatelo. Kila kitu iko sawa? Pilipili hapa kia Mungu sunieke pilipili. Bring me this kind of the red pepper. Nikatie. Guys, we have the red pepper here. Yeah. Put it here. Thank you. Yeah. So there's not much of the tumbo ngonang'onaring. It's called the tumbo is the stomach is roaming. No looking for the network here. No network looking. Oh yeah. Oh, hata unataka. Guys, are here in the tradition here. We have to understand this is the root. Fantastic. Guys, it's gonna be a good way of us here. Make sure that there's no much of headache. Bado.
Kama umeenda huko, umeanguka. Huko tulishatoka. Tuanze kule.
And I buy too much.
Yetu.
Hakuna. This is my room here. Have to get my food standard here. Exactly. Oh, abana. Base. Unaenda wapi Kimbali?
Njoo na ule.
Au kuli? Unaenda wapi?
Wapi Ben?
Bado. Kisiri. Inyama. Serious?
Mboga iko sawa huo.
Isi itatosha kwa lunch.
Itatosha.
Lunch. Kama sahani. Ndio nilikuwa nataka niende kununua, zimekuja.
Ngazeri kuja nazo. Lakini bado uchira utakukanya ntirivuki.
Sahani, Guys, I have to buy some plates here. Here we are, guys. We have to buy another plate. My mom, she's here. She's good here and maintaining the order and making sure that the church is here to pray for her also, to make sure she's gonna be strong enough. Exactly. So keep it tuned, keep it locked. We have much of the things to say and everything gonna be. So I'm gonna be going to buy this kind of the plates. We're gonna be having a lot of plates here, so you can just be using them here because we have less, and we're gonna be washing again, like the way you're gonna be washing and getting to the cooking here. Exactly. The church is making its own order and everything is so fantastic. So guys, keep it tuned, keep it locked. Ana ndio huyu hapa. Ingia tu hapa hivi jikoni. Yeah, exactly. Keep it tuned, guys.